Hello and welcome to Canadian Disc Golf Productions coverage of the Roulette Rounds. My name's Wallace Kent. My co-host today is
Pat McCauley.
And we are at Sherwood Disc Golf Course in Milton, Ontario. This is our first set of videos coming out of the Roulette series. The Roulette Rounds are our winter content that we are doing, showcasing all of the players that have helped us so far in starting up our company and helping us with filming, commentary, social media, and everything of that nature.
Yeah, so we've got a fun kind of competition game going on, something like skins, but a little bit different. And this is your own set of rules, basically. How's it all work?
And the object of the game is to be last man standing. So every player gets to start with 6 discs in their bag. And if Patrick takes a birdie and I take a par, Patrick has the ability to take a disc out of my bag. Our players today are Patrick himself.
Little tease for you there, guys. No problem.
Our next player is Ken. He's one of our camera operators from Milton, Ontario. He's the home course connoisseur for today's round.
Ken Michelin throwing a missile in today.
Josh Saxe. He's done commentary for us and helped with selling discs in the past.
Excited to finally play around with Josh, actually.
And Ryan, aka Bevy from Guelph. Him and I have been in the process of setting up a skins match for the spring in Guelph.
And at the date of recording, that's a fresh Movember handlebar mustache he's sporting.
That is.
Hole 1. We got a short course here today, eh?
It is. Hole 1, 203 feet. Everything on the pathway and to the left is out of bounds. All grass is in play. Any hole that has a pathway on the fairway, that pathway and corresponding side is out of bounds. Any flower beds that you'll see and tree wells that are on the course are also playing out of bounds.
Yeah, thanks for that. We really appreciated that, Wally. There's OB everywhere and like really close to the holes too. Just a few feet behind the basket. I'm going to launch my first shot a bit short, probably about 25 feet.
Here's Ken, the home course local. He lives about 5 minutes away from the course.
That's really out and wide, but you see it's coming back because that is a 15-speed Michelin driver from Latitude. I got a couple drivers today, actually. I don't know about that strategy.
That's just knowing the course and knowing what to throw and how to throw it.
Yeah.
Ken threw that one a little far, over the hill. Here's Josh, laying up a little bit short, leaving himself a long up shot / putt. And here's Ryan.
He's going with his zone, I believe.
And he's got that classic style of arm up over the disc like Gigi. Puts that one CTP.
Yeah.
Puts that one right in front of the basket.
That's going to be a quick birdie, and that's a chip up for Ken, which means Bevy's going to steal some discs right off the bat.
There's Josh.
If we all par and he gets a birdie, he doesn't get to steal 3 discs, does he? He just gets to steal 1?
1 disc from a player of his choosing. There you are, giving that one a run.
Nice shot.
Bevy taking his tap in too. There's Ken taking his par. And Patrick and Josh tapping in their 3s.
So we do all get our pars. So he's going to take his pick. And I guess the strategy, we had to figure it out as we went. So we didn't have the knowledge, but taking someone's putter would be a great idea.
Here we are, hole 2, 189 feet. Everything on the pathway into the right is out of bounds. Parking lot on the left. And all these flower bed tree wells right around the basket do add some added difficulty.
This is one of your first dirty tricks up your sleeve today. These are very, very close to the basket. It's almost hard to miss them.
And there you can see Ryan's now our leader with 7. Ken and Pat are tied at 6, and Josh sitting at 5.
And just as we say it, that one curls right up in the flower bed, so that is OB.
Josh playing a little bit conservative, leaving himself a little bit short, but definitely away from the out of bounds.
Learn from Ken's mistake there. So we're just in a rotating order today.
And there's Ryan leaving himself a little bit wide, staying away from that out of bounds.
Going with the glove on throw out wide.
It was a little bit chilly when we were filming that day.
Yeah, first cold snap of the year. Josh just sails it past the basket, but I think he avoided the flower bed.
He did. And Ryan, another big birdie putt.
Great angle on that putt too. Who's your catch cam today?
My brother-in-law, Sean. He has been helping us with all of our catch cams slowly but surely. He's got a newborn at home, so when he's got the time, he comes out and helps us out.
Oh,
As Josh just missing his par putt, being the only one taking a bogey on the hole, losing another disc.
Well, that's excellent, man. Good news. He'll be joining you a little bit next year too.
That is the plan, hopefully.
It's great to see Canadian Disc Golf Productions getting out, being able to film more events, adding some angles, representing Canadian Disc Golf. I'm taking the brand new Mind Bender out of Josh's bag after my birdie, and he's taking his.
Oh, and he's taking the Berg.
I was kind of wishing he was able to take one as well.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Here we are, hole 3, 173 feet, par 3. This one has the pathway behind the basket and to the left. Everything else is safe. Now, the typical local line is to take the big hyzer line around the tree on front of the tee pad there. As you can see, it's been trimmed a few times by discs. But everyone today's been taking the big Annie line, hoping that it works for them.
Oh, and that's turned over in the wind. It is a lot windier than the trees look right now up towards that hill.
That is true.
Even the difference of 200 feet.
There's a nice one for you. It goes a little long. But from where you went out of bounds, you'll be able to take your tap-in 3 from the OB line.
Yeah, there's a few of those today. The shoals are so short and the OB is so close. And Ken just absolutely parks it. Great shot.
Local. Knowing the local lines. Flexing that one out pretty nice. There's Ryan. A little bit long.
It's a dangerous bid there.
But it stays safe.
To decide that.
Just doinks that one off the top.
That was a nervy roll too. Just short of the OB.
Stays in bounds. We'll take his 1 meter. Have that slam dunk putt.
So if all goes well here, that'll be 3 pars. All before Ken gets to his disc. After you take your meter, you're pretty much right there. But formalities, we're in safe.
There's Josh taking his 1 meter. Good old mitten
Oh.
bag.
The mitten bag marker. And you notice, I don't even have a marker with me today.
And here's Ken taking his birdie putt.
I'm
Another
playing it old
CTP.
school. And he's got another disc. He's going into my bag.
It's all putters.
You gotta decide which one I putt
Which one do you
with.
putt with?
Yeah, that
Taking-
one.
This is what
Looking
he's
at
on
his
the
AVR.
That's the one on the left.
Taking his
Yeah.
putting putter.
Trying to
Putted
convince him
this,
that I
didn't
probably
he?
didn't. And this is a nasty hole.
Hole 4, par 3, 193 feet. Everything on the pathway and to the right is out of bounds. All these flower beds that you can see on the left side also play out of bounds. And at the crest of the hill is the property line, and if you go over that fence line, you are also out of bounds.
Any of those right-handers who don't have the discipline to do the smart thing and play the forehand to the left, you're hanging it out all the way, the whole way to the hole out of bounds.
Out of all my rounds, I've never played this hole as a forehand. I try and do what Ken's doing here, but just try and clear that flower bed. As you can see,
yeah.
he just lands out of bounds. Oh, sorry, that was Bevy.
Yeah.
Here's
Floated it up too high. This is a Movember themed, actually, MX3. But
That
it's
one's turned over out of the hand.
I haven't thrown that disc in a while. It's a little beat in.
And you were pretty much OB right off the tee. You'll be moving up about 7 feet. Here's Ken.
Ken.
High, long backhand, clears the flower beds, and he's safe. pin high.
Yeah, I think that disc is safe too. He's got the 15-speed Michelin. Like you said, he knows the course well, so he has lines for that disc, but I don't think anyone's going to be trying to steal it.
And there's Josh putting that
Great
one up
throw.
perfectly for a CTP. Here's your second shot after you went out of bounds.
Just Heisern in a Berg, and it barely
Bounces off the pathway
in.
and gets you there. Bevy lining up his long putt. Trying to get that birdie.
Oh yeah, good bid, and just checks up in time to stay in bounds.
Here's Ken where he went pin high. Smashes that birdie putt.
Good bird.
You say, nah, I don't need that 1 meter. I'll take it from there. I make that one.
Yeah, putting with my pilot now because the AVR is gone.
There's Josh getting low, making sure he doesn't go over the basket.
Good stuff. And he does have his original P2 putter with him, so he's alright for now. So that's Ken stealing another disc with that bird. He's got one for Bevy now. That looks like the bird.
Taking Josh's berg? Taking the berg that was
Taking that back
Josh's?
again.
That was Josh's
That was
bird?
Yeah.
from Josh originally.
Hey, Patty.
I didn't realize that.
Patty. Now,
Alright, hold on, hold on.
Divulge that information there. Patrick's first.
Alright.
Josh is taking his disc back.
I'm gonna take back my bender.
Taking back his
throw it
own
on this
disc.
hole. I was excited to use it.
Yep. Well done, brother.
Here we are, hole 5, 216 feet. Everything on the pathway and to the right is out of bounds. Parking lot pin high is out of bounds. All the tree wells around the basket. Flower beds to the left, as you can see, over the hill. And there's also a fence line behind those flower beds. About 55 feet from the basket. Pretty far away. But over that fence and you're also out of bounds.
Rollaways can definitely happen here, so things can get out of hand quick, even though it's still a short hole. But yeah, I gotta say, your adjustments and edits to the course definitely made it challenging and more interesting for us. And that's just
Well,
inbounds.
the way my friends and I play it, that's the way to make the course challenging. So I figured since that's how I play it myself, might as well add that in for everybody else.
Oh,
Here's
yeah,
Ken with a beautiful, nice backhand.
that's an ace run. And oh, what do we got here?
We got ourselves plastic playback of that beautiful drive. And as you can see, it's coming in nice and checks up. And he's left with a 5-footer there.
Beauty. Love that slow-mo replay too. Great addition. Josh is using the mind bender that he just stole back, and he goes right at it. Oh, could he steal the CTP? Baby looks like he's lining something high. Yeah.
And he goes over the tree, lets that putter fade in for him. And there you go. That's his throw in AVR.
Good execution on that throw. Much better than mine was anyway.
And this time you decide to take your 1 meter, use that extra little bit of space.
I don't know what that was. I know we're just amateurs here, but that was even bad for me.
There's Ryan lining up that birdie putt. And just chains out.
Heartbreaking. I don't even think you can blame that one on the win. That one just got spit out.
There's Josh taking his birdie. Ken lines up his birdie and smashes that one.
So Bevy got out to a good lead, but he's going to be back to even now, back to 6 discs. And Josh preserves his 4 discs, but I'll be down to 4 as well. So me and Josh will be,
Josh took a birdie there, so he'll be going up a disc.
yeah, we'll be switching
What did he put with Alex?
5 and 4. So I'm on the bottom now. We got to be careful when you get this low.
That's the one he went hard with. I don't even know what the hell that
And there it is, takes the AVR that he just used on the previous hole.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
old
yeah.
and seasoned disc.
Stay up here. Come on. Take it from.
No, you gotta take from.
That's right. You have to.
Yeah, and Josh
Okay,
is
let's see.
gonna play.
Where's that pilot? Yeah.
I knew it.
So I have no putters left now.
Here we are, hole 6, 203 feet. This pathway wraps around the entire hole, so technically you're teeing off from out of bounds. Pathway around behind the basket, It's about 5 feet behind the basket, so if you go long, you do have the ability of going out of bounds and all the tree wells around the basket, and as you can see, there's one of them within 2 feet of the basket. So that bush, if you miss the basket, does have the ability to stop your disc, but it also has the ability to put you out of bounds.
Yeah, there's not much room for air long, and
There's Ken.
puts plenty long there.
With that Michelin, a little bit too much juice.
Yeah.
Here's Josh. Looks like he's using that Movember disc that he stole from you. Hyzer's out for him. Leaves himself a long putt. There's Ryan showing off that he's using the disc that he just stole. And that one just checks up for him.
No, I'm not. I think that might have been his Athena, because I think I'm throwing my Movember disc here still. Yeah.
Oh.
That was his Proto Athena, I believe. And again, that disc is just too understable. Our biggest enemy was the wind today, if not the rest of the players here.
And you can see Josh going for it. Going a bit long, out of bounds. You and Ryan right beside each other. Having you go first. Rolls down the hill, but leaves you a 10-footer.
Yeah, left with the tactic there. A little too overstable for putting. And Bevy
Just
much
cleanly
smarter there.
Cleanly puts that one under the basket, putting
Yeah.
the pressure on everybody else to make their putts. Here you are, making yours.
But any birdie opportunities?
Ken, after going OB over the basket, coming back, misses that short little. You can see the devastation.
He's as shocked as we were.
And as you can see, disc leader went from 8 to 7.
Take
And
the putter back.
Ryan's gonna pull one out of Josh's bag.
Like a kid in a candy store, he's taking the mind bender. Everyone wants to get their hands on that one.
Now here we are, hole 7, 104 feet. This one is pretty much a jump putt for you off the elevated tee pad. We got those few tree wells around the basket for some out of bounds.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to go long on this hole. Josh literally jump putts it and pretty much parks it. Still really close to that flower bed, even though you're playing safe.
There's Ryan throwing it a little bit low, but checks up. Just short of that OB, nice and safe. Here you are, going a little bit long.
I was trying to do more of a hyzer, but that bird doesn't like to fade.
And there's Ken, just throwing it down, throwing a berg as well, just putting it right by the basket.
He's the closest of all.
There you are, making your birdie putt.
Needed that one. Everyone else was about inside the 10 feet, so that probably saved me a disc.
Saved you 3 discs, is what it would have done.
They all would have taken one from me.
Yep.
That's right. That's how that's how it worked. Yeah, that would have been devastating.
Josh with the confidence to make that putt. And Ken's going to tap in his.
Hey, we got a star card there.
So this hole will be a push. So we're going to move right on to hole 8. 172 feet. Pathway to the right of the basket and everything over it is out of bounds. This one's got a bit of a degree of difficulty with the basket being on the hill, about 15 feet away from the out of bounds, not even 10 feet. And with that tree in the middle of the fairway, makes it just a little difficult to see where the basket is on the slope. So you got to trust your distance.
Yeah, this one's really tricky. You can't go straight at it. Well, you can, but you can end up short like Bevy. You can't go straight at it reliably because those 2 saplings are in the way, so going for a little hyzer, definitely more desirable route, and I try and do it here.
Leaving
Just
yourself
park it
bottom of the hole, bottom of the hill.
Kind of similar line. He's in a little tighter though, but it's gonna sit very nicely.
You can
Right
keep
in.
that one on top of the hill.
Right in beside Sean's feet.
Josh going more for a direct line at the basket, leaving himself about a 6-foot putt for birdie. Here's Ryan.
Ryan's probably edge of circle 2 here. Ooh.
Close to the OB, but he's still safe. There's Ken, just over the basket, rolls out of bounds.
Danger. This is the danger hole. Almost knocked his coffee over.
Here you are for your birdie putt just off the top and rolls out of bounds.
No, it's not coming back. D9. Yeah, pretty simple hole as the crow flies, but it gave us a handful here. To add insult to injury.
Just a little low.
That's a 5 for Ken.
And there's Bevy making his par putt.
It's been so long since Josh threw. Was that for his birdie?
Yes, it was.
So if I can make my bogey here, we'll have a 2, 3, 4, 5 on the scorecard. We run the gamut, and that barely sticks.
So first, we'll have Josh taken from our disc leader, Ken.
Great. Buzz, Avenger, Michelin.
Nice Jake's first time since I bet we'll be able to take it.
Just deciding what he wants there.
There you go.
That looks like
Nice.
his red buzz, I think. Yeah, he had 2 different buzzes with him, so that's one of the buzzes. They're both
Oh.
pretty beat down.
And another
Oh,
bird
he's
gets
taking a
taken.
berg.
Birds are flying everywhere today. They're hot commodities.
Hole 9, 104 feet. Par 3, everything on the pathway to the right and wrapping around behind the basket is out of bounds. Parking lot to the left and all those tree wells.
Another jump putt style throw here. Kind of downhill, but you want to hug the crest of the hill so it doesn't get carried away. And that's exactly what mine does. Does it hold up?
Lands on the curb, and that one was ruled out of bounds.
Yeah, it wasn't touching grass. It wasn't touching the pavement, the parking lot, but it was not touching grass.
And there's Ken. Puts that one up perfectly.
Oh, we're getting another playback for Ken. Must have put it really, really close. Just hugging the hill there. Really nice angle.
We treated it more like a pitch up putt than an actual drive with that berg.
Nice
Checks up
shot.
right underneath the basket.
And good jump putt from Josh. He's not too far away either.
And there's Bevy checking up nicely. Nice putt. Saving the par there.
It's a good par save, but unless the disc blows straight out of Josh's hand.
And there's a sign of
Very
Sherwood
fancy.
Disc Golf Course, showing all of our distances and pars.
Yeah, so when we got here, we couldn't actually figure out who
Good run,
made
Josh.
the course. It just says the city of Milton designed it.
The city of Milton is the one taking the credit for it. There's Bevy with a nice tap in too.
Beauty. Yeah, it's nice to see the town put an initiative in like this. It's a fairly new course, but great tee pads. Some better tee pads than I've seen on full-length 18-hole courses. So
Give me
you're
my
doing it right.
buzz,
Good
Mr.
job, Milton.
Saxe.
And you can
Thank
see
you.
Ken
That's the
going
good one.
right back for his disc. Let's give me that. Here's Bevy going through the 4 discs he got, seeing what he's Willing to take, and he's taking the Movember disc.
Oh yeah, to go with the
It's
scotch,
down.
of course.
And so
Thanks for
halfway through
sparing
the
my
round,
daughter.
what's happening here? We're losing half of our bags, kind of.
That is the plan for the back nine because the Sherwood course is so small. We want to make it challenging, make sure we get a clear, definite winner. That we took everybody's bag and cut them in half. So after the front nine, Patty's down to 2, Ken is down to 4, Josh has 2, and Bevy's got 5. Here we can see Ken with that patent disc spin. Now on hole 10. Plays that one a little bit short, and he skips out of bounds with his drive.
So everyone does have their own discs. The discs that the richer two had, that they gave up at the halfway point, were discs that they had stolen from other people. Yeah, so me and Josh gotta be very careful here. We could be out of this game pretty quick, and it is an elimination match too.
Yes.
We didn't mention. If you're out of discs, you're out of the round. Winner moves on kind of scenario.
That is correct. With our Roulette Round series, we have planned out doing rounds with the ladies, the FAs, and the pros. We are doing junior pro division, which is some pro players that are under the age of 22, giving them some spotlight on film. There's Josh making a big putt,
Mega putt.
keeping himself in it, putting the pressure on everybody to make putts. And there's Bevy just doinking off the top.
Good run.
And just a near miss from Ken as well. So I want to try and pull up even with Josh, see if these underdogs can snag their way back into this round, and we will do it. So that's going to make us much more competitive for the rest of the round. We have some wiggle room now.
Ryan, don't concuss yourself making this up, baby. I'll mark it.
And then we'll see Patrick saying, I don't want that missile in. Let me go through what else he got.
Buzz the Avenger and the magnet.
Take the magnet. You can't play without it.
I'm going to
Is that a
take
chain
one of his
slam or
putters.
a chain seeking?
And Josh decides
I've
I'm
helped
going to
you a
gang
lot.
up on Ken as well. I'm going to take one of his discs.
I've helped you a lot, Dad.
Ken is now down to 2. Here we are, hole 11, 189 feet. Everything on the right side of the pathway is out of bounds. All these flower beds right around the basket and the parking lot. Here we've got Josh up on the tee first. As we've been rotating through who will be the win dummy. It's not really fair to give one person the tee pad every time. Josh throws that right up on the flower beds, and that one is out of bounds.
Same as last time, one victim at least on this hole. It's hard to avoid.
Yeah, just a little bit of grass back there.
Here's Ken making the adjustment from the first round, putting that one much closer to the basket, putting the pressure on you for sure.
Because other people are birdieing this, unless you get an ace.
Glove off this time.
Nice hyzer, puts that one right in front of the basket, goes for the ace run.
He's a little bit of a skip away there. Ken's going for the Avenger.
Knowing that he's only got 2 discs left, he's got to be on point with his putting.
Listen to what I say.
Putting with the Avenger for the birdie.
Misses the tree. There's Patrick trying to hyzer around the tree and just bounces off the cage.
I was too in awe of what he just pulled off. And I was kind of right about his strategy. He brought 2 drivers for a 200-foot course. No one wanted to steal them, so that's all he had left.
And there's Bevy taking his tap in 2.
Yep.
Josh being out of bounds. Taking his 3.
Alright, who are you taking from?
Home sweet home, he's got his magnet back. and that is that the Huck Lab die?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that is P2 going, I think.
Hole 12, 173 feet. Everything to the pathway and to the left, out of bounds. Nothing else really in the way, other than the tree on the tee pad.
Now, noticeably more of a breeze this time. This hole was tricky enough with a lot of people turning over, going long OB. Now it's even breezier. He really threw that pretty hard for a 173-foot shot.
But as you can see, he clubbed down so he didn't drift as far past the basket like last round. Here you are, as the geese fly by.
They're definitely heading south. It's cold out there today, and I fly way by to where everyone
You
else was
can
the first
see the
time.
wind kind of grabbed that one and held it up in the air. Let it glide for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that tactic isn't really tacticky anymore. It's been run over by a truck or something. It's pretty wonky looking.
And there's Ken, once again, trying to take the CTP.
Not a bad shot. It's hard to control that speed when you're throwing a, what's an Avenger, like a 9 speed? Josh is way long. Going on a wind ride.
Throwing that method.
He's still going to have to make a putt.
Here you are, being conservative.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with the OB again with only 2 discs left.
Bevy knowing that he's a disc leader. Players are taking pars. He just laid up to save that par. Here's Ken bouncing off the cage. Josh lining up. Par putt off the cage and in. You are making that putt.
So this looks like it'll be a push.
Nice tap in. Moving on to hole 13.
Alright, see if this will trip up anyone this time.
193 feet. Trickiest hole on the course so far. Everything to the pathway and to the right, out of bounds. All these flower beds, and of course the property line.
Yeah, when you throw a disc up here, it's almost like Plinko where it's gonna land. Alright, here we go. Me and Josh on the cut line, basically, with just 2 left.
Checks up nicely, leaving a nice 15-foot putt. Ken with one of those drivers that he's got.
Yeah, not only is it a 15 speed, which I don't think I've seen before. He throws it OB. It's that dimply Latitude 64 Michelin like prototype disc. It feels very strange too. But he's got it pretty dialed. That'll be another tap in par from an OB for him. And Josh hangs his 2 wide.
Out of bounds from pretty much right off the tee. Here's Ryan. Nice safe backhand.
Oh!
Just stays out of bounds.
He's lucky it was as short as it was. Stayed in bounds. So Josh is in about the same spot I was reteeing from last round. He's got to get it in bounds, nice and safe, and hope someone else.
And that just rolls inside for him.
You got to hope someone else trips up too.
Bevy off the cage for birdie. Here you are for your birdie putt. Just touching the chains.
And Josh, his last gasps of air.
Just a little low.
This could mean a double disc steal from him if there's so there's multiple pars here.
Well, that's a 3.
Nothing for Bevy.
And there's Ryan tapping his in.
So, Pat, have your pick.
All right,
So that's gonna mean
Taking the bus from you.
a triple elimination for Josh, right?
He loses his last 2 discs, so he is now eliminated. as he bids us farewell.
It was a pleasure, Josh.
You've seen me park it.
Hole 14, 216 feet. Pathway into the right, out of bounds. Everything over the fence line and in those flower beds to the left, as you can see, coming up the fairway.
Yeah, I say that I enjoyed playing this hole the most out of all the ones today, both times around. That crested hill and the hidden kind of shot is really, really interesting. A couple different options you can go. And what is Ken gonna do? Is he gonna go high and wide this time?
No, he's gonna try and do the same thing that he did last time.
Yeah.
This time he checks up short of the basket.
Yeah, well done.
Here's Ryan. Throwing what it looks to be his condor.
Oh, that's almost too long. He's got close to the parking lot there.
Here you are. Looks like you're throwing your tactic again. And it checks up. Just rolls down the hill slightly, but not too far.
Yeah, I don't have many options left. But, oh, that...
Ryan going
Great
for
bid.
it. And just avoids the tree well there. That could have been devastating. There you are with your birdie putt. Putting that one in.
Yeah, you're almost playing Minesweeper on this course, the way you've made the rules there. Just misses the putt, and then you could roll away 5 feet OB. Alright, that's a par.
Ken tapping in his par. Ryan tapping in his par. And as you can see, Ken's going through his bag and going, condor? I don't want a condor.
Maybe.
It's another defensive disc choice. You ought to have a couple in there that people will stay away from, so...
I'm taking where this is.
That's my go-to
I
putter.
think he took his AVR, and I'm going to take his other AVR.
You're looking at your bag going, what do I need?
No.
You still got lots of
Yeah, I definitely need to fill out my bag. I only got 3 discs left.
This is zone?
It's Crystal Flex.
I wasn't too nasty to take his AVR.
Oh, man.
Hole 15, 203 feet. This pathway wraps around behind the basket. It's only about 5 feet away. Those flower beds, tree wells, as some people call them, right behind the basket. Adds a touch of difficulty. You are, beautiful shot looking back towards the tee pad.
Yeah, it's a nice little park. And this is a big little disc. This is the Condor.
And look at that, just floating perfectly for him. Checks up, right in line with the basket.
So slow and straight. And I'm throwing the Crystal Flex Buzz that I just stole out of his bag.
Oh, and a little bit of Annie out of the hand, but again, nice shot.
Couldn't get any advice for a wind read from him for some reason. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me how stable it was. The Michelin again. So Ken went about 35 feet long to the left last time, and he's not as far out of bounds this time.
But still out of bounds.
Right behind the basket, it'll be another drop-in par for him.
Nice birdie putt for yourself.
That's going to help me stay in it.
Ken's going to take his tap in 3 from out of bounds.
Going to lose this now. That is no, that's mine. That's Josh's remaining. Oh, yeah.
And there we can see
Well, he has 2 putters.
you trying to figure out what you want to take.
We'll leave him with the AVR.
You're going to take the magnet.
No,
He's going to take the AVR because it's
Ryan's going to go, I'm going to take my AVR back.
So yeah, Bevy's back in it. Now Ken is down to just 2.
Here we are, hole 16, 104 feet. Good hole to come to Milton and get your first ace on. One of the shortest courses in the province. One of the shortest holes in the province. Here you are, this time keeping it a lot shorter.
Yeah, much more discipline that time. That's still scary, right beside those trees. Ken nice and low.
Laying that one up perfectly.
He should have no problem. He's got to be real careful now. He's on the brink now.
There's Ryan, going a little bit long, but still inside the circle, giving himself a nice short putt. Puts that one in. clearly had the most pressure being the furthest away. If you missed that, he was going to be down 2 discs.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone taking their birdies.
Ken staying alive with that CTP, hole 17. There could be a lot of separation here. There was a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 last round on this one.
Everything to the pathway and to the right out of bounds. Those tree wells on the hills are out of bounds, but they're far enough away that they shouldn't give you any difficulty.
It's the roll away here. That's what you want to avoid. Get that nice flat landing angle so it stays up on that grassy hill.
There's Ken, a little bit overstable, but that thing checks up for him nicely on the hill.
Yeah, good counter skip. Down to his drivers again, the Avenger and the Michelin. Okay.
There's
Even
Ken,
nicer.
CTP, putting the pressure on everybody to make their putts. Patrick missing the tree, putting that one
One's flying by. Oh, get a playback too. That must have come closer than I thought. I thought I sailed it way past the hole. But
As you can see, just checks up perfectly and gets even closer than Ryan.
yeah, that was a surprise to me. Good
Ken
bird.
making that putt. That pretty much guarantees this hole to be another push. Ken not helping himself out, trying to steal a disc to get back in it. And there you are, making that birdie putt, making this hole another push. Coming into hole 18, another 104-foot jump putt of a drive. Everything on the pathway and to the right, behind the basket, and parking lot on the left.
Yeah, I'm protecting the 1 disc lead right now. I went OB on the last 2 holes the first round, so I'm just trying to protect that lead at this point. Bevy's got a chance to steal it away if he can get her real close here, though. He's chasing my tail. And he is.
And there it is, that one checks up. Here's another plastic playback for you for Patrick, hole 18.
Hey, 2 in a row.
This one just skip right off the pole. Can't do any better than that.
Music to my ears. That's great. Ken needs to put her close too, or he'll be out of discs.
And that one
But-
checks up for him.
So he won't be able to catch up no matter what happens here.
And there you are, tapping in that birdie. Coming to hole 18, or after 18 holes, here are 2 winners moving on to the next round of roulette. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Wallace Ken.
I'm Pat McCauley. Thanks for putting this on, Wally. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to see the rest of the rounds.
Thank you, and see you next time, everybody.